Good morning and welcome to another Monday, not a Tuesday or a Friday, and Gemma's not here, so it's all a bit weird, but that's okay. We've got three lovely verses this morning, the first three verses of Psalm 44, and they say this. We have heard it with our ears, O God. Our ancestors have told us what you did in their days, in days long ago. With your hand you drove out the nations and planted our ancestors. You crushed the peoples and made our ancestors flourish. It was not by their sword that they won the land, nor did their arm bring them victory. It was your right hand, your arm, and the light of your face, for you loved them. I love these verses, especially verse 3, and so I've just got a simple little thought for you today, really, that it is so important for us to remember what God has done for us and what God has achieved through us. And since it was my mum's birthday on Saturday, we had a lovely barbecue back in Kent with a few family members, which was really nice. And I'm sure we all love a good party and a good celebration about all the things that have happened in our life, whether it be birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, baptisms, all these things. And in the Church of England especially, we're very good at doing this with our faith, much more than just Christmas and Easter. But I was really challenged upon reading this to do this sort of celebration and remembering that we do in the Church of England, that we do with birthdays and everything, with my own faith journey. I might have already told you this story, or Gemma have told you this story, but we had the idea to organise a youth conference a good few years ago now, and invited from young people all around our local area. For teaching, for worship, food, seminars, prayer ministry, and to cut a long story short, it went brilliantly. It was such a fun day. We had about 100 young people, all of them really engaged with what was going on, and it was just so encouraging for us as leaders and those who helped out to see all these young people engaged in faith. And the story came to mind upon reading verse 3 especially, as we had an amazing team of leaders, as I just said, that did all these various little tasks. Some are big tasks, some are smaller tasks, that made the day practically and physically go ahead. But in everything that happened, it was a God-inspired and executed day. We might have been the soldiers on the battlefield, but it was definitely God's sword and God's right hand that brought the success of the day. And so I've been challenged upon reading this to remember when and where God has been at work in my own faith life, in my own faith journey, and to recognise His hand and His sword in situations that perhaps you don't realise and you forget to realise. And while we are never without God, at least in my life, there have been some instances where God was more there than others, where God appears closer and more obvious, and those situations are something truly worth remembering and celebrating. So there's some very quick thoughts on a few little verses in Psalm 44. Have a lovely day, and we'll see you soon. See ya.